Hey guys, Kenny here with Stain Man. I've seen a few posts with people asking, why does my fence fuzz up when I'm washing it? And so what I thought I'd do is a video showing 8 different solutions of cleaning products and how they react and why they do what they do. So basically what I have here is 8 different cleaners. I have a 10% solution of SH, 5%, 2.5%, 1 1/4. Then I have some percarbonate. I have that peroxide cleaner, metasilicate, and hydroxide. Those were the 8 ones, and I did them on cedar. I did with the board just straight dry, and then I applied the chemical, and then I pre-soaked the board. I also did the same thing to the whitewood. I didn't do it to the pressure treated, but I basically applied the chemical, let it set for 15 minutes, and then rinsed it off with the garden hose. There was no pressure washer involved in this. It was just all garden hose. So you can kind of see how some of this stuff will fuzz on you regardless of what pressure you use. So remember those, and I'll go through here and show you the results. So first thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at cedar. This is raw cedar, unstained, unwashed, straight out of the lumber yard. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get back to that color. So starting off with, I'll show you the 10% solution. This was on wet, this was on dry wood. Dry fuzzed up really bad, wet not so much, but we got a white look to it. If we scroll over, you're going to see this is a 5% solution. It comes out better, not quite as much fuzzing as with the 10%. Then we get down into 2.5 and 1 1/4, and we're keeping a lot of those brown tones. If you notice on dry wood, you're going to get more fuzzing than what you're going to than if you pre-soaked your lumber. Now let's look at the percarbonate versus peroxide. And on wet wood, I can't say there's a real big difference. See if I can block some of that sun, but you can see where the peroxide or the percarbonate is getting a little bit better back to the brown tones, where I don't see that with the peroxides yet. If we would have let those set, I'm sure they would have been more even. But if we go to the dry, it's a night and day with percarbonate outdoing the peroxide cleaner. Then we get over into our metasilicates and hydroxides. This one here is metasilicate, this one is hydroxide on wet, and this was on dry. Metasilicate on dry and hydroxide on dry. And on the wet, I think the hydroxide strips a little bit or buzzes a little bit more than what your metasilicate will, but it also cleans better when you're doing it on pre-soaked as opposed to dry. This is the color that we're trying to go after. I don't know if that shows up real well, but metasilicate and your 1 1/2 or 1 1/4 SH and percarbonate gets the closest back to the original cedar look. Let's go up here and look at pressure treated. This first one is 10%, and this was on pre-soaked pressure treated pickets, and it's fuzzed and it's white. Then we get over to 5%. You still got some fuzzing going on. 2.5%. Not quite as much fuzzing. And then 1 1/4 is a lot better. Of course, you have your wood grain that's showing, or your knots that are showing, but that's typical. So then let's look at your percarbonate versus this is your percarbonate, and this is your peroxide cleaner. And I would say percarbonate 1 on that one as well. This is your metasilicate cleaner. This is your hydroxide. And metasilicate didn't fuzz it up as much as your hydroxide. Then we'll go up to the whitewood, which hopefully not a whole lot of you see whitewood, but some of you will. This is a 10%. This was dry. This was pre-soaked with water. We got some fuzzing on both of them. 5%, 2.5%, 1 1/4. This is your percarbonates, peroxide cleaner. That is metasilicate, and that is hydroxide. So the winner out of this one on whitewood, I would say between metasilicate and percarbonate. So there you go. Let you choose which cleaner you want to use, what strength you want to use. I'll give you my feedback. If you're going to use SH, stick around 1.25%. If you're going to try to decide between peroxide or percarbonate and peroxide, I would say percarbonate won on that. Metasilicate versus hydroxide, I would say unless you're trying to strip off an old coating, metasilicate would be the route to go on that. So there you go. There's some examples of cleaners, dilution rates, and all that fun stuff. Hope you enjoyed, and have a good rest of your day.